Hey everybody, it's Ben Burchard, author of the #1 New York Times bestselling book, The Millionaire Messenger, and founder of Experts Academy, and welcome to Circular Viralocity. This is the most important video I've ever shot in marketing. So what I want you to do, no matter where you're at or what you're doing, if you're on the road, pull aside, watch this video, take notes. If you're at your home, shut the door, put me on headphones if you need to, cloud out the rest of the world, and focus right here. Because I think this is the most important thing that I've ever shared in marketing, and I know that's saying a lot. You've followed me for a long time. That's why you're here. You're a customer. You know the value of I hope, my work by now, so that when I share some of these big numbers with you, you know why I'm talking about them. This is about you sharing your message, sharing your voice with the world. It's about monetizing who you are and what you know. And now I'm just going to teach you how to kind of throw jet fuel on whatever momentum you already have, you know. This has been the biggest breakthrough I've ever had in my career, and I don't say that lightly. This is, I've been sharing with you guys now for 8 years how to build your brands online, how to share your message, how to productize your knowledge, how to promote who you are and what you know with the marketplace. It's, for me, 18 years in this industry trying to figure out, how do I do my stuff, you know? How do I write my books, and how do I build my brand online, and how do I, sell online courses and DVDs, audios? I know you are already very familiar with what I do, but I'm here to share with you in that context of doing this for so long. I mean, I found my message from a car accident. That was 18 years ago I found that message. But it would be another decade before I really had the guts to put myself out there and to start sharing that message with the world, because I thought people, I didn't know there was such a big business here. I didn't know there was so much revenue. And frankly, I didn't know that people would care. And I know a lot of people struggle with that, of whether or not your voice, your mission, or your message is going to ever really catch fire. I'm here to tell you, catching fire is a strategic play. A lot of people say, well, it's a miracle. You hit 1 million people on Facebook. As I was like, some people call it a miracle. I call it a well-executed strategic plan. Some people will say, oh my gosh, you came out of nowhere. I'm like, yes, I came out of a small American town called work. This is about figuring out what you need to be doing online to catch fire and grow huge. That's what circular viralocity is. Now, there's been a lot of conversation in the marketplace like, what is this? Because I've referenced it in several emails. And a lot of people I've already tried to attach a definition to it. They have no idea what this is about. I would say in the last 8 years of teaching marketing, the thing that really has fired me up, I would say the most, is very simple. It isn't just teaching and seeing the impact of the students. That's always been huge. But what I'm proud of the most, I would say, is that I do this stuff. I'm not a training guy who just grabs and gobbles up a bunch of other people's stuff and then regurgitates it. I really feel like we've pioneered and we've innovated a lot in this market space that our students have put into play and crushed it. And you've seen me build and grow my brand. And all I've ever tried to do, since I've been blessed to get to share my message with other people, is to turn around to y'all and say, hey guys, here's what I'm doing. Here's what's working. Give this a shot for your brand. And because we've done that, we've had student after student after student on the New York Times bestseller list. We've got literally clients out there crushing it, doing 7-figure launches. I mean, we've really been able to lead in the market space, and I've been really proud of that. And so what I'm going to share with you is this idea of circular viralocity, but not as just this new thing I've created, but in the context of everything I've been teaching you for years that has worked. Because I can't look at the camera and tell you all that you're going to be able to get the millions of views that I've gotten or make the millions of dollars I've done. Not only is that just not ethical and legal, it's just the reality is I don't know if you'll put it into play, and I don't know your background, your message, your story. The reason this strategy specifically has worked so well for me is because I overlaid this strategy on top of the foundational strategies that I've already been teaching for several years. Okay? That's why this has worked so well, and I'll walk you through what this is, but this alone has helped me literally have the greatest quarter of my business ever, the biggest email growth ever in the history of my company, the greatest number of social media new followers, the greatest number of new sales and customers and buyers, and frankly, the greatest positioning I've ever had in the marketplace, period. And that's what I'm going to teach in this video. So again, sit down, grab your pen, grab your journal, let's rock and roll. I want to overlay this foundation first and foremost on telling you why it's working at such a compound effect for me, and it's done it because I overlaid it to some of our 10x empire strategies. If you're new to my brand and you don't know what that means, in 2011, I put together a program called 10x Empire. I think we had 200, 300 people in the room who paid $10,000 to be in the room to learn some very foundational strategies in online marketing and, frankly, sort of empire building for their expert brand. It was very strategic and very advanced strategies to learn how to grow a brand. So I was teaching things like strategic content and customer development planning, meaning how do you come up with your content and how do you release it in a way that helps your customer grow in their knowledge and their competencies of what you teach. I was teaching market leadership positioning, integrated product suites. I'm not going to go through all these right now. I'm actually going to do it at the end of this video for you so you can kind of have a grasp of what these things are, because I know a lot of people are here just to learn this one new strategy for my customers. But I'll share with you these things from 10x Empire. I just overlaid circular viralocity on top of it and it went poof, right? This, as you've seen, just 10x Empire by itself led to $12 million promotions in a row in my company. Just doing those very things I taught you. These 10 things from 10x Empire led to that result. And now I look at this result, and even though that's unbelievable and crazy, with circular viralocity put on top of it, I think it's going to be the biggest growth of my entire career, right? I mean, it's the stuff it's going to blow through. So even if you don't know what we did at 10x Empire, or you weren't there, or you haven't heard about that training, I'll tell you about the training later on, and we have one coming up at the end of this year. But I'll also share with you what those strategies were and how that circular viralocity amplified it. So first I got to get into circular viralocity. Let's talk about results, because that's what this is about. If I didn't get these results, I wouldn't be teaching it. Just like I'm so proud at Experts Academy or 10x Empire or any of our events, I can stand on stage and say, hey guys, here's what I am doing, and here's the result that it led to. Instead of sharing theory, I've always been about being able to show this is what I did. Now again, I can't promise that you'll get the same results. I can't promise you'll get any results. I can't even promise that you'll try, right? You could be a vampire. I have no idea who you are. I don't know what your background is. But let me share what happened when I started this whole strategy called circular viralocity. Okay? In February of this year is when I discovered circular viralocity. I'd been testing it about from November of last year, so November, December, January, and in February, boom, I got it. I figured out what it was and how to use it strategically over and over and over again. And again, I'll be teaching that in this video. And here's where I was in February of this year. I was at about 400,000 likes on Facebook. By the way, not bad. And most of that growth, if you look back in my timeline history, most of that growth came from November to February. And everyone's like, what are you doing? Literally this huge growth from November to February. So that's where a lot of that came from. But I didn't exactly dial it in yet. And let me share the results. So in February of this year, I reached about 400,000 people on Facebook. My post reaches, we're about 5 million a week. We're actually seeing the posts. And most importantly, these numbers over here are what's important. 327,000 people were engaged with those posts. And it led to over 448,000 clicks. Now, these are serious numbers. There's a lot of guys and gals out there who are, the big famous people in the industry who have 1 million or plus likes. But then when you dig into their numbers, their engagement, they have like 8,000, 10,000, 20,000 people talking about them, which means they're basically serving up garbage to their audience because their audience isn't really engaged with it. Yes, they became famous in a flash in the pan, and now there are 1 million people who are following them, but they don't have anyone engaging with them, right? I mean, you should really look at this number. 400,000 page likes, 327,000 engaged. From 136,000 likes to 9,000 comments to 37,000. This is real momentum on Facebook. If you have a huge number of likes but you don't have engagement, you probably either you were famous before, you got lucky, or you bought a bunch of ads, in weird countries to help you get those numbers. These are the numbers that count in Facebook. And circular viralocity is what creates these, the engagement. The number of people who are currently talking about you is the only number that really actually counts on Facebook. I'd take, 10,000 likes with, 10,000 people talking about it over 100,000 likes and 10,000 talking about it. It's all about that ratio, okay? So this is where I was in February when I started to kind of get it. And then I broke through and I systematized it. Is that a word? I think it is. I automated it. Not only did I automate it, but I figured out strategically how to do it again and again. Watch the numbers. This is February. Let's move to this month, June. Here is last week. I'm trying to give you this. I'm going to give you all the current numbers so you can see it. I don't know when you're watching this video, but this is last week, June 5th through the 11th. Look at the numbers. I went from 400,000 to 1 million likes. I went from reaching, 3 million people with a page post to 16 million people a week. I went from, 300,000 engaged. I upped it by 200,000 more people engaged. And here's the thing for you marketers that give a damn, right? Check out the number down here. 729,000 clicks, 79,000 shares. Remember, this is in a week. What would happen to your business if we got you 729,000 more clicks in a week? Think about that. Total game changer. People are here's what happens. People are like, Brendan, you're famous now, 1 million likes. I'm like, I don't care. I'm happy about the 1 million likes, but these are the numbers I care about. I had 12,000 people comment on my post in a week. In a week. Do you know how big that is? Some of you are like, well, Brendan, Facebook. Oh, is this Circular Viralocity just about Facebook? No, I'll show you the other platforms as well. But do not be one of those people who right now are sort of poo-pooing Facebook. They're like, oh, well, Facebook didn't work for me. Yeah, because you had no idea what you were doing. You had no strategy. You didn't know how to grow it. You didn't know how to build it. Look at those results. Literally, end of February, basically you had March, April, and May. I basically, in 90 plus days, went from 400,000 to 1 million. I more than doubled it in 90 days. What if you doubled your following in 90 days and you took your clicks up by 10, a factor of 10x? What would happen to your business and your brand? I'll share what happened with us. The greatest amount of engagement, conversation, talking, clicking, and buys and opt-ins in the history of our company. Let's check out a couple more things that happened. This was the week that I kind of figured this out. Again, I told you it was in February. Here's that month of February, what I kind of figured out in February. You can see here that on Facebook, I set up an affiliate link to track sales. In Facebook, I had 49,000 clicks directly to that opt-in campaign, which I'll show you later. It did 12,000 opt-ins, and it did $47,000 in sales. Now, how would that be for your business? What would happen for your life if you came up with a new strategy and suddenly you got 12,000 new emails? 12,000 new emails in a month. Look at your email list now. Would that make a dent? And now take it, and what I'm doing is 10xing. I'm saying, okay, over the course of a month, well, if I got 12,000 opt-ins that month, and I didn't know exactly how this thing worked, and I multiplied that just by 10, that's 120,000 new emails. I look at this $47,000 number, I take it by 10, because 10x is what I'm always talking about. Your strategy, your thinking should always be 10x strategy, 10x thinking, 10x empire stuff, right? 47,000, imagine that went to 470,000. Now, I'm only sharing that with you because that's the way I'm thinking about it. This might not be for your business. Again, I'm not guaranteeing you'll get any of these kinds of numbers at all. It's likely you won't get any results at all because most people never get any results in their life because they won't even try. So I have nothing to guarantee you here except to share a strategy with you that might just change your life forever. Because those numbers are changing my life. That was 1 month, and I was like, weird, 1 month. Then look what happened. I did the same category of campaign over the next month in March as I was starting to dial it in a little bit more. And remember, this is just one campaign. I have as many of you know, in a 5-year period, using 10x strategies, I built 5 brands to the $1 million level or more. 5 years. I mean, literally, like 1 year hit $1 million, another year hit another $1 million, another year another. 5 brands to $1 million level in 5 years, just using 10x strategies. So this is only 2 campaigns that we're tracking. This is not my monthly revenue. This is 2 campaigns tied directly to Circular Viralocity. Facebook did 26,000 clicks, 5,000 opt-ins, 938 orders, about $24,000 with that specific campaign. It was a different campaign. Yahoo, I tried that. We did $12,000. Cool. Okay, we're figuring this out. Then I did April. What did we figure out in those exact same 2 things? Another $35,000, another $56,000. Now, I want you to notice here, we're just trying a couple different platforms, right? We've got a Facebook, a Yahoo, and a YouTube, and we're using a specific tracking link. And the only reason I'm sharing all this with you is to keep it very simple. This is not integrated product suite campaigns. It is not automated marketing campaigns. This is one Circular Viralocity link. That is it. On different platforms, just to show the numbers that happens. Now imagine what's going to happen over the lifetime value of these 12,000 new opt-in. Look, we got 12,000 plus 5,000, 17,000, say 18,000, say, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,000, about 25,000 plus opt-ins in a short amount of time with one Circular Viralocity campaign. That should get you paying attention. Look what happened for us when we put in Circular Viralocity on my podcast. Many of you were part of that, and I appreciate you guys helping me launch that. I mean, think about this. When I launched my podcast, in all of iTunes, not my category, all of iTunes, using just very strategic 10x stuff, I got up to about 5 out of all of the world on podcasts, right? About number 5. And then I was like, oh my God. And by the way, that surprised me. I didn't know that was going to happen. Then I applied Circular Viralocity to it on the same day, because I didn't know I'd get 5. My ambition was to get number 1 in my category. I hit number 1 in my category in like 2 hours. And then I hit number 1 in the next category in about 3 hours. And I was like, I might hit number 1 in all of iTunes worldwide. This is crazy. I applied that same thing I was learning about Circular Viralocity, and frankly, I wasn't even good at it at the time. I applied it, and it shot me to number 1 in not just the United States in podcasts, but in 5 other countries. In the United States, we knocked off This American Life, Freakonomics, Radiolab, and NPR, which is not easy to do, and we did it for several days. And now what's happened? You've seen over and over and over again, I'm always in the top 10 in our category without spending any towards it other than Circular Viralocity. It just stays there. Why? Because of Circular Viralocity. So I'm showing you this why. Because I want you to think about your platform. You've got Facebook, right? You've got Yahoo stuff, right? You've got Yahoo email or Yahoo platform working. If you don't, come to 10x. You've got a podcast, or maybe you want to develop a podcast. You're seeing this blow through these numbers. You've also probably got YouTube, right? We started YouTube at the exact same time, and you've seen all this, and we did very strategic 10x plays to get this show started, to do something distinct and excellence and service-driven with it in a very different way. But watch what happens to YouTube, okay? When we launched it versus when I figured out Circular Viralocity. Here's what happened. When we started this year, I didn't have the exact numbers down. I wish I had a screenshot. I'm punching myself for not having it. But I had somewhere between 12 and 19,000 subscribers, I think, on YouTube at the beginning of the year. A little less than 300,000 views, if I recall right. But then I started actually doing screenshots to check it out. April of this year, when I finally figured out Circular Viralocity and I got it like systemized for YouTube, we went from, we jumped up about 10,000 subscribers. But we quadrupled our views. Now, what would happen if you doubled your subscribers and you quadrupled your views on YouTube and you did it in January, February, March? You did it in essentially 90 days. Is this crazy? Look what happened. You can see the numbers here. I don't need to go through all of them. By a month later, I went from 30,000 subscribers to 40,000 subscribers. And again, I added 1 million new views on YouTube. Let me say that. 1 million views on YouTube. Now, tell me how many people you know who are adding 1 million views a month on YouTube? That's why I'm here to tell you. This is not some like mashup of what other people do. This is an original strategy. I don't know anybody else using it this well. And that's why I want to train you in depth on it. Have the conversation here today, invite you to 10x Empire. I'm going to show you step by step exactly what we're doing to hit some of these numbers. Check this out. By May, we're at that number. Let's jump to June. We went to 62,000 and we went to 4 million. Let's go all the way back to when we began. We started somewhere around 12, let's say, average it out 15,000 subscribers at the beginning because I honestly can't remember. So I've, in 6 months, taken my YouTube subscribers by a factor of 4, and overlaying that, I took it from maybe 300,000 views to 4.7 million views as of this morning. 4.7 million views. What would happen to your brand, to your business, if you had similar ratios. And again, I don't know that you could do that. And I'm not guaranteeing anything to anybody. I'm just saying this is a strategy that's working like mad for me right now. I'm really excited about it. Check this out. What is the definition of it? I know a lot of people have been talking, they've been throwing out some ideas, so let me share with you basically what circular viralocity is. You've seen the results. Let's talk about defining it for you and showing you how and examples of it, okay? So it's basically a very strategic, and that's the word, right? Strategic. But it's simple method of posting and reposting specific archetypes of content. If you don't know what an archetype is, do some more studying in psychology, but essentially it's speaking to different types of people for different types of topics. We're taking that content, which is really a 10x play of what we used to call strategic customer development, and it's applying it across specific platforms at specific times, each platform timed right. It's using a specific type of link. Not all links are favored on different platforms. That was a huge breakthrough for me. I was like, oh, that's weird. Facebook doesn't like to show YouTube links? Pfft, crazy. Didn't know that. I didn't know that data yet. Then applying it across specific viewer, giving specific viewer directives, asking and telling viewers and customers what to do and when is critical to circular viralocity. Now, here's something real quick with you. If all of this is way over your head, that's cool. If you have no idea about anything I've taught before, all I can recommend, go to Experts Academy, right? Just go log in to expertsacademy.com, go through some free training videos to learn about our industry. I think circular viralocity is a strategic play, but it's pretty advanced, right? These, I would say it's simple. It's just advanced because you have to develop content. You have to think through the psychology of your user. You have to know where to put things into what times, and that's really important. So if this freaks you out in any way, trust me, I get it. It is more of an advanced strategy. I mean, this is something that you see getting uncommon results, but it's really it's just using all the free tools that are already available to you in a new way. And that's what I really want to walk you through. Now, if you're freaked out, don't worry. I'm going to show you screenshots here of some of this stuff at play so you kind of get a very tangible example, because I know I had to start this sort of at a theoretical level because, I mean, frankly, I've invented this new term and I'm trying to teach people what it is. So I had to just share, here's what here's what it's accomplishing first so you understand its power, and then I'm going to break it down for you and show you some examples. But it's basically posting and reposting the right stuff at the right time to the right customers in the right ways with the right directives to build your brand, to get the followers, to make the sales. So let's walk in and I'll actually show you something that I did yesterday, okay? Yesterday. I want you to see how this is working. So I don't know when you're watching this, but I posted this blog post. This is a screenshot of my blog from yesterday, and I did nothing out of the normal. The same thing I've done for basically about 6 weeks, the same strategies in play for circular viralocity. It's why I decided to teach it now. So yesterday I posted a thing called The Power of Personal Responsibility. Travis Shields, my main man shooting this video, who does all of my videos, said you should call it How to Get Your Shit Together. I laugh so much. That's the image I ended up creating for it, and I think that really helps with some of that viralocity because it's just, well, it's funny, you know. So here's what happened. We posted this yesterday. I want you to pay attention to this number: 6.3 thousand likes. No ad spend. There's no ads going on here yet. Okay, nothing. 6.3 thousand likes. Guess what that does? Blows up the blog. So we've got all these people liking it. All their friends are coming back to the page, which is what? Increasing the engagement there, which does two things as well. It also increases the viewership of this video on YouTube, right? Everyone who clicks that thing, YouTube says that's a view. And all these people say, follow Brendan's blog. They click on that, and they're automatically subscribed to my Tumblr feed. This is a Tumblr blog, right? I do my blogging on Tumblr for very strategic reasons. There's also the ability of this page, which it does, if you're new and you haven't been to the page before, or you haven't opted in before, what happens is you'll see this for maybe 10 seconds, and then the screen goes white out, and it pops up an opt-in form saying, hey, would you like to get email updates and free video training from Brendan on some advanced topics? And so already there, if that's all we did, cool. But how am I moving, how am I getting 6,000 likes and shares on it. And you're like, well, of course you have 1 million likes. That's great. On Facebook, that's what's helping you. It does help you, but it's just one piece, tiny piece of what we're doing. Because here's the thing. I don't know if you know this, but Facebook came out and they said, look, at any given time, whatever you post on Facebook really only shares with about 16% of your audience. 16%. That means over 80% of your people never even see a post that you do on Facebook. So when you're only getting like 1% to like it or share it, that's kind of okay. It's just the unfortunate reality of what Facebook is doing. So how am I getting this kind of numbers, though, in a day? Now, what you want to do is think about, well, what's going to happen if this kid, me, keeps pushing this over a series of weeks and over a series of months? Now, what happens when this post, now when I apply circular viralocity in coming weeks, what happens when this thing shoots up to 10,000, 15,000, or 20,000? That's what's going to happen is I'm going to apply more circular viralocity over and over and over again, right back to this post. If that's all you did, that'd be cool. So what does that mean, posting to get this? So we began, I want you to write this down in your journal, we began with, we shot a video for YouTube, we posted it on a blog that's very social and mobile friendly, which is what, frankly, Tumblr is. And so I'll walk through now what we ended up doing from here. So I just create the post, right? That's step one, create a great post. And by the way, a great post is necessary. People won't share this if this was a shitty video, even though it's about how to get your stuff together. I recognize the irony. But it works because it's good. How do I know it's good? Strategic content development from 10xEmpire. Literally playbook 1 of 10xEmpire. So I've got a post. You got a post? Good, you got a post. Now watch what I do is, I love that picture. Watch what I do. Now this is a screenshot of my Facebook post yesterday. All right, you see it says yesterday up here. So all I did is I posted this link from Tumblr. One of the reasons I love Tumblr is because when it feeds into Facebook, it allows you the ability to change the image, but it makes this whole thing, check this out, the entire Facebook post is clickable. 80% of this post, no matter if they click here, no matter, if they click on the image, boom, they drop over to the blog. Not all links allow you to do that, right? Not all links allow you to do it. Like a YouTube link in here as an example, it will give you a little thing. If you click it, it will play, right? But it won't take you over to your YouTube page unless they click over here. This, with Tumblr, gives me 80% click-through, which is sick, right? I mean, anywhere they're going to click on here. Strategic messaging, how to get our mojo and momentum back when life feels off or undirected. That's knowing my customer and knowing how to get them to share something. Notice it is not a question of engagement, it is a statement, how to do something, okay? Tied together with a separate title here. This title doesn't say the same thing as that. It's separate. It's a conversation going on in their mind strategically. Then down here, even more strategic messaging. That's how I get that many people to click through. But notice, even though they can't click here and see it here, they're going off platform. Check this out. 3,000 likes, 1,000 shares. Now why? I mean, you think about it, I really want to encourage you to go look at other Facebook pages and look at their engagement versus my engagement from the numbers I shared with you. Very few people, and I work with many, many, many celebrities, as you know. I look at their Facebook page, I have no engagement. How are we consistently getting this? By the way, this is from yesterday. 3,000, and this is one post from yesterday. It's not because I have 1 million people. It's because I've learned how to engage and build those 1 million people. It's because I know how to use the messaging and the sequences throughout the week to build towards these numbers. That's just the beginning. Go and look on my Facebook page. Scroll down. Look at how many photos and quotes have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 likes and shares. It's not an accident. Again, it's not some miracle. It's strategic marketing and messaging following 10x rules and circular viralocity. So that's a post, right? So now what you've done, you've posted on your blog. You've come over here, use some strategic messaging to get them to click through. And by the way, if you're like, well, Brent, I don't have a million. Who cares? When I started this, I didn't have 1 million either. So don't ever be that person who becomes a failure in life because in some way you say, well, sure, she can do it, but I can't, right? I couldn't do this stuff either until I figured out the strategies, and I did them over a consistent period of time. Next, what did I do? Well, I didn't just do one post on Facebook. I did multiple posts yesterday, all different messaging, all leading to viralocity. So what did I do? I posted a full summary of that post, of that video, a summary of the post on Facebook with a link back over to that post, right? That got an extra 2,000 likes and another 1,407 shares. You can see the numbers here, okay? Then what did I do? Again, later on in the day, I posted 4 hours later, I posted an image from that, taking them now to the YouTube video instead of the blog, because I'm trying to build up each of the platforms. That did another 1,400 likes, got another 262 shares. It's starting to build momentum. Guess what? I also did a text post, what I call a text on image, or I call them quote cards. I did a quote card link over to that page, or straight up quote card, based on the messaging of that video. Meaning I'm using that video and its content, and I'm grabbing stuff from it to post and repost stuff from it, right? I'm repurposing it, which is kind of like the basic elementary step one of what we're really doing with circular viralocity. So check it out. That got 9,000 likes yesterday, and it got 3,902 shares yesterday. Did you know I knew that was going to be that? I knew that was going to be the ratio. I was going to say, I'm going to post this specific thing, which I knew would come out of that video, and because it's a directive, it's a specific type of a directive, and I knew that this would be a 30% number. I knew I'd get 30% of the people share it, right? And I knew it'd probably get between 5,000 and 10,000 likes. How would I know that? Because I have the data from Circular Viralocity to show what would happen with a quote card released at a specific time after a video. Then what else did I do? Now I take that same thing. This is, by the way, is not from that specific campaign. It's from an earlier campaign, because where we're at in today, I have not yet done it, right? So I've not yet done this campaign for it, which I will next. But I want to give you an example. Now I'm going to take them to audio. I'm going to post that audio from that video up onto SoundCloud. It's the same thing. And guess what? It's the audio now. They can listen to it right in the player. Our last time we did it, we got 400 and some likes, okay? But now, if we did it, this is from like April back in the day. So I just grabbed my first screenshot. So I apologize if it's not the most recent one, but I have not yet posted that particular video onto SoundCloud audio yet. But I want you to see what I did so far. If I go back, all I've done is I posted to the blog. I switched up the modalities, text plus image, all in the same day. Dropped a quote card, will be dropping the audio, and guess what? All these things link to each other, which I'll show you later. There's links that just keeps, if they, all the people who like this, they're going to see something else, they're going to go to the blog. The people who are on YouTube, they're going to like it, they're going to go to Facebook. The people who are on Facebook, they're going to go over to YouTube or the blog or something. I'm mixing them, sort of creating a circle of sharing across all these different platforms and modalities in which they can consume the content. Then what else do we do? We drop over to Google+, right? Google+ has more shares and likes with a link going back to the blog. Guess what? We also dropped the YouTube link back into Facebook. So we're all doing this. So we've got Google+, we've got Facebook going, we've got the blog going, we've got SoundCloud going. We also have iTunes going, which I'll show you later, on the same thing. So what did we do? Let me give you a big picture overview of, actually let me show you something real quick. I'm going to log into my online here, and I want to show you all this stuff into play so you can see it real time here. So you can see it. So here's the blog post, again 6,000 likes. But if you see, there's lots of things that they can like it and they can follow it, and then they can also share it towards the bottom. Oops. If you go to the bottom of this blog, you can see of this blog post, they can also share it on Tumblr itself. And yesterday it got, what do we got there? It got 38 shares and reblogs on Tumblr by itself. Okay, so you got the blog post, but we've also got the Facebook post, right? Again, linking over to the blog, right? We had 366,000 people see it yesterday, it says here. Then guess what? I also put it as a podcast on iTunes. And guess what? When they hover over information about this particular video, what happens? They can scroll down, they can learn about this particular audio podcast, and guess what? My website is on here, okay? All of these things are all linking back to each other, but in a strategic way that is building the viralocity. So no matter where it's sharing, it's linking to a different place to build that platform. Then you see for example, as an example of that, here's us on YouTube. Well, you can see on YouTube, right beneath the video, I'm taking them to the MP3 on the blog. I'm taking them to a free book offer, part of the funnel I'll tell you about, to make money. And I'm also taking them to my Facebook page. I'm just creating this big circular viralocity. They're sharing it, they're seeing it, they're going all over the web, and that's what's growing it. You see it, here's the post on Google+. You see it, the individual posting on Google+ from yesterday, and you see all of these things linking to either the blog, to one of the social media sites, or even to the free book campaign, which if you didn't go through some of my training at if you haven't been to Experts Academy, go, right? But if you've been through 10x Empire, you remember this exact strategy. If you are at 10x Empire, you have the scripts for this, you have the sequence for this, you have the emails, the exact same thing I used. I'm still running the campaign for Millionaire Messenger and the charge, walking people through a strategic conversation and leading to sales, right? All of this, people are like, is circular viralocity for fame? I'm like, no. Is it for fortune? I'm like, no. Is it for both those things? Yes. But ultimately, for me, it's not just about the money, it's about the message. Look at all these different ways you're perpetuating your message. Now, there's more strategy than I'm showing you here, but I want you to see how all those links and all that momentum is also dropping people into offers, and it is dropping people ultimately into opt-in pages as well. That's where you saw that earlier. I showed you me getting, with this one strategy, 25,000 opt-ins so quickly. It came because they're coming to pages like this, super stripped down, simple page that says, give me your name and email, and I'll give you something for free. All of this is tied together. None of it is complicated. It just has to be done well. I mean, I'm sure lots of people will try it, but they won't do it well. Doing it well is what makes the difference. Okay, so let's bop back in. Let's walk through some of what I taught you here for your notes. First and foremost, I shot a video with some strategic content built into the video that I knew would create more viralocity. I posted that video on the blog. Then I posted that video basically everywhere, varying my link strategy. Sometimes I'm taking it to Facebook. Sometimes I'm taking it to YouTube. Sometimes to the blog. Sometimes to Google+. Sometimes to iTunes. Sometimes to SoundCloud, as an example. Okay? Then, what did I do? I found the winners. Now, here's where circular viralocity gets very strategic. I found the winners. What does that mean? What I'm going to do, now, all those things I shared with you that worked really well, I'm going to watch them over the course of 1 week. And I'm going to say, which got shared the most? Which got liked the most? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to those, and then I'm going to boost those posts to my specific audience target that I want to reach, which for me is mostly United States, Canada, Australia, and the UK. I'm going to boost those specific posts right to those audience, to the exact demographics that I want to reach, because I already know those posts are the winners. So now I'm going to boost those posts, just depending on what my ambition is or what those link strategies are at play. I'm going to boost it. It might be $20. It might be $200. Shoot, some of those I'll boost for $1,000 if I can see the numbers work out after the course of the week. So this is a big part of the reposting strategy. Most of the people who are struggling on social media are doing it because they forgot we're in a stream situation on social media. Meaning, if you post something at 8 a.m., if they're not on their social media platform by noon, the odds of them ever seeing your post are so low. So what do? Repost it again. If you have winners, repost it again. See what won, repost that sucker a couple weeks later, and post it again a couple weeks later, and again a couple weeks later. Keep perpetuating. If you got a winner, keep putting it out there on social media. So I've got quote cards, I've got images, I've got videos, I've got texts, longer blog posts on Facebook, longer blog posts on Google+, that I just kind of perpetuate again and again with that link strategy in place. It all talks to each other, and it builds this viralocity. Okay? So find the winners, run some ads at it. Try it. If you're just starting out, run $5 at it, at your winners, and see those likes build and watch what happens to your page. Then, after I find the winners, I'm also going to repost 3, 6, 9s, meaning 3 weeks later, 6 weeks later, And 9 weeks later, I'm gonna run that dang thing again, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why it's gonna be a winner. You follow? I'm just gonna keep that thing going again. And if it's still perpetuating opt-ins, perpetuating follows, perpetuating money, I'll run it again. All year long, every 3, 6, 9 months, bam, 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 just keep dropping that. That's creating that circular viralocity to create these thousands of likes, these tens of thousands of opt-ins, these hundreds of thousands of followers now that we're picking up literally a week. Next, we do something called platform farming. I'm not going to tell you what that means in this video, but I'll give you the big picture. Platform farming means leveraging other people's platforms, strategic partnerships, and social media partnerships, which I can't believe nobody's really doing very well that I know of, to perpetuate all this and throw another sort of bucket of jet fuel on this thing. It just means basically get some strategic partners to repost your winners. And I'll walk you through what that means exactly at 10x Empire, but that's probably a $100,000 strategy that I've learned, literally. The first time I'll ever teach that will be at 10x Empire. Then what are you gonna do? You're gonna drop all of that momentum that you've been gathering from the likes, from the shares, from everything, into the integrated product suite that you've created, meaning multiple products and offers that you have online, and in through the automated marketing campaigns, the opt-in, the value sequence, the sales sequence, everything we teach about Experts Academy and 10x Empire. And that's all we're doing. We're just doing that all day long. So if you would like to learn more about this, I encourage you to do one simple thing. Watch this video again. Take lots of notes. Some of the basic moves are all there. The big mystery behind circular viralocity has been released with this video. Now what I would like to do is invite you, if you want to go deeper in this, you want to learn the sort of the advanced strategies in brand building, in content building, in automated sequencing, in what we call the 10x strategies, then I want to invite you to 10x Empire. I'm doing it again. We haven't done a 10x Empire since 2011 because I've been working on developing the strategies more and more and more in my own brand because I want to teach something new. I always want to teach the most innovative stuff and I want to take it to another level. We'll always teach some foundational things at 10x Empire, but everything that I've ever taught has now shifted and grown because of circular viralocity. And now I have a new way of thinking through all of this. The first time in 3 years that we have done 10x Empire is coming up this fall, and I want you in the room if you're willing to go to that next level in your brand, in your career, and you're willing to follow these strategies. You know, it's already legend, the people who came out of the last 10x Empire who attended there, pretty much the biggest online marketers today, were at that event. The same thing's gonna happen for the next event. We're gonna get an unbelievable amount of people. But because you're a buyer, a longtime subscriber, a customer who's here, you made it through this long, sort of winded approach, let me tell you what this program is and I'll get right to it. 10x Empire at this year, I'm gonna teach all of these things that make my platform already ready for circular viralocity. I'm going to teach you some very advanced things, and I'll walk through in a second. It's the same things that led to millions of dollars of sale, well, tens of millions of dollars of sales for us now, even just since 2011. I'm going to share with you exactly what I do step by step by step. Millions of followers, millions of views, millions of just frankly revenue. I'm going to show you step by step what we're doing in a way I've never taught it ever before. Now I'm going to switch gears. And my switching gears is going to teach you some fundamental concepts that make circular viralocity go even faster, whether or not you come at 10x Empire, though I recommend you do. So here's what we're going to teach at 10x Empire, and here's what you need to know to kind of make circular viralocity go even bigger for you. First and foremost, strategic content customer development planning. You need to learn how to think through what to release and when, and where in your customer's arc of learning they are. What do they need to learn first, second, third, fourth, and fifth? And where are you leading them long-term in terms of gaining followers and making money? Second, market leadership positioning. There's certain things you need to do, 5 to be specific, that you must do every year to build not only your following of fans and customers or readers or viewers, but also gain a different level of market positioning versus the other teachers and trainers in your space. This is how you become the #1 authority in your market. Third, you need to learn about integrated product suites and online funnels, and they've changed. what an integrated product suite was, frankly, 2 years ago when I taught it, has switched because the modalities in which consumers want information has switched. So you're going to need to learn how do you create the right products. And by the way, you don't have to create a lot of products. I need you to create 3 for each brand, strategically priced and placed in your online funnel. I'm going to teach you how to do that, and I'll share with you how in a moment. The 4th thing, automated evergreen marketing sequences. You need to have things that are running and selling all day long because all this circular viralocity, it's going to go. For the rest of your life, those posts, those shares, all those things, it's just going to create more and more momentum. We want them to drop into something that walks them through something in an automated way that gets you opt-ins, followers, views, and sales. So I have to show you how to do that specifically. 5th, promotional partnership value creation. How do you get guys like me, gals like the leaders in this industry, how do you get them to promote you? How do you get them to platform farm and share your content across their platforms and grow your brand across all of that? That is completely new training that really didn't exist back then because online hadn't got so much data analytics behind it as we do now. 6, recurring revenue training models. How do you put training content out there that leads to recurring revenue? 7th, high-level customer services, meaning how do you charge more? How do you go for the higher fees, right? How do you go for higher fees? For me, maybe it sounds like to you the cost of 10x Empire is a lot. It's not a lot for what I do. It's not a lot for my consulting fees. It's not a lot for my high-end group coaching. I mean, those fees are literally in the 7 figures, and those are in the $50,000 plus ranges. So for me, to teach you everything I know over the longest duration I've ever taught advanced training with 10x Empire, a 4-day event, step-by-step on this stuff, you know, it's a pretty good deal to get in. I recommend you check it out. 8th, I'm going to show you multi-channel prospect acquisition. Most people don't know how to get prospects from all the different modes, not just social media, not just from affiliate partnerships, not just from ads, but from radio, from television, from magazines, from print and circulation. I'll show you category ownership initiatives. If you want to become the #1 person in parenting, what would you have to do to own that category specifically? If you want to become the top person in real estate, what category ownership initiatives do you need to start now? It's an initiative. It's not a campaign. It's a specific sequence of things you need to do, not just online, but in your brand and in your career. 10th, movement marketing campaigns. How do you create and incite movements behind your content to get those huge shares, to get those huge conversions and sales? I hope in sharing some of this with you, you see, I'm not here because I'm just a happy-go-lucky, enthusiastic guy, which I am. I'm here because I'm putting a different level of thought to this world. That's why our tagline for 10x Empires, advanced strategic marketing, branding, and empire training for leading experts, for people who really want to be out front. Now, if you're just casual about this, don't come to 10x Empire. But if you want to create a real brand, a huge online presence, and millions of followers and sales, then this is the advanced stuff you've been waiting for. If you're just starting out and you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, read my book, The Millionaire Messenger, go to Experts Academy, get it going. But if you want the most advanced, complete step-by-step of everything I know today, sign up for 10x Empire. I'm going to teach a couple things that I've never taught before and what's going to make 10x Empire go to the other level. First, we're going to teach this year 4 separate things that I've never taught in depth anywhere. The first thing is circular viralocity. If you liked what I showed you, how would you like this? This is my playbook. It's what I open every week now going through the rest of my life. It is my circular viralocity playbook tied together with all this other stuff. Meaning, if you're going to build a brand today, people ask me this all the time, dude, you just have it written down, everything you do, like step by step? For the first time in the history of my career, this is it. This is step by step what to do on social media, step by step what to do to set up your campaigns, your marketing funnels, step by step how to think through your messaging, step by step how to build your brand. This includes the outlines I use for all my sales messaging. It includes the outlines I use to launch a book, to launch an online course. It's the most comprehensive. Literally, if you don't think this is worth the tuition to 10x Empire alone, you're crazy. Because guess what you're probably doing? Like everybody else in the marketplace, they wake up Monday and they're like, what should I do this week? What should I post this week? You know, they don't have any strategy behind it. Well, not only does a lot of people have a strategy, they don't know what to do. Step by step. This, I was thinking about literally shooting a video and offering for $100,000. Literally, just this alone. I was going to say, hey guys, $100,000, I'm going to give you my business. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to everybody who attends 10x Empire this year for free. I'm just going to hand it to them. You pay tuition to get to 10x Empire, I'm going to hand it to you. That's the power of this book. It's probably the most important thing I've ever released in the marketplace. Whoever gets it is just going to crush it in the marketplace because this is exactly what I do. This is what I do every week. It's just right here. Every time I do a new launch, it's right here. Every time I do a new book launch, it's right here. Everything I know and do, step by step, in 12-point RAL font for you to follow, check off. Got it, got it, got it, got it. You'll never have to guess anymore. Right here for coming to 10x Empire. The other things that we're going to teach there are my 10x publishing strategy. Many of you were there or heard about 10x publishing last year. $10,000 a ticket. I think we had 200 some people in the room. And I taught everything I'm doing in the book world to sell all those books, to get people into those funnels, to keep the conversation going. And you've seen people do 10x publishing. You've seen JJ Virgin go on 22 weeks at the New York Times following that exact strategy. You see Jeff Walker crushing his book launch right now. It's the same strategy, the same conversion numbers, the exact same strategy put into play in dieting and in marketing. I did it for The Charge and self-help, and I did it for the Millionaire Messenger. I'm going to give you that $10,000 strategy, that training. I'm going to give the same thing at 10x Empire this year. We're going to spend a day on it. It used to take me 4 days. I've condensed it because now I have this to refer to, and I'll just walk you through. I'm also going to teach campaign optimization. How do you get higher conversions on your sales videos? How do you get higher conversions in your evergreen marketing sequences? How do you get more people not only just to opt in, but to buy, to also follow you? How do you measure a campaign today? And it's changed today. We didn't have retargeting at the levels we have it that I used to teach. We didn't have the ability to run more analytics to all these different sites that we had today. So if you're a data junkie like I am, you need to learn the basics of campaign optimization so that you make sure you're getting paid more. And then finally, I'm going to reveal and teach for the first time ever platform farming. But best of all, I'm going to create the farm at 10x Empire. What does that mean? It means you need to get in the room. I'm going to create the strategic partnerships in social media in that room. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the industry. Everybody else thinks they know how to do networking. That's fine. It's like, hey, let's exchange some cards. And maybe they teach some partnership stuff. I'm going to create the entire new platform for our industry because I'm going to show you all how to use circular viralocity with each other on each other's platform, and you're going to grow that farm, if you will. You're going to learn how to plant the seeds with each other, but you're going to learn how to sprout each other's brands. The people who will walk out of that room will be the same growth and crushing nature, frankly, that I've been able to have. Maybe not this exact same results, but that growth, that ability to know what to do, that strategy, this is probably the most priceless room that will ever happen in online marketing. And I don't say that lightly, because I challenge you to find somebody who's thinking at these levels in our entire marketplace. It's one of the reasons I have the brand positioning I have right now, is because I'm not playing small. I'm trying to do the 10x stuff. I want to go to that next level, not because I have some ego about it, because I want my message to be out there. I feel like I survived what I survived 18 years ago so that I could share my message further and wider in the world. And I feel like the blessings that I've got in my industry and from you guys and from this space has all been about one thing. How can I turn around and teach you what I learned? Right? If you want to learn my basic stuff, go through Millionaire Messenger, go through Experts Academy. That's all great. But if you want to skip those things and just come and get straight action steps on the most advanced stuff, even if you're just starting, but you don't want to waste any time. You don't want to have to go through the basic learning curve. You want fast. You want dude, just show me what to implement. This is the implementation guide. This is the implementation training for 10xing this industry. And I want you there. All you have to do, click the link below, come, join us at 10x Empire, join the entire new platform that we're going to build, join the people who are going to learn the best strategies in this industry. And if not, hey, no sweat. Watch this video again, put some basic plays on your Facebook and your YouTube, onto your blogs, into what you're doing with your podcasts, with your books, all the strategies of growing all that traffic. You got it. Watch the video. You got some of the basics here. But if you want the implementation style training of all of this, I mean, down to the letter of step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you want my $100,000 playbook for free, all you got to do, click the link below. I look forward to seeing what you're doing with Circular Viralocity in your brand and your business. I look forward to hearing your successes. I look forward to seeing those of you who want to be the most advanced A players in this industry at 10x Empire. Until then, thank you for all of your support. I could not have done any of this if I hadn't built an audience. I could not have done any of this if you guys didn't care about your own message, your own brand, your own strategies, your own ability to grow and to give. So I honor you and I compliment you for all of the work that you've done to learn these strategies, to put them into play, because I know you want to change people's lives. If I can help you change 10 times more people's lives or reach 10 times more people, if I could be any part of that story of growth for you, I would be honored. And that's why I look forward to seeing you at 10x Empire. Until then, please go out there every single day of your life, live fully, love openly, go make your difference today.